The most invisible prisons are the ones we don't realize we're in. They aren't built with bricks and bars, but with beliefs. Beliefs an abuser carefully teaches you to accept as normal, as love. They are experts at blurring the lines, at making you believe that what is breaking you is actually building you. But a healthy person, looking from the outside, would see the truth instantly. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the subtle conditioning that keeps people trapped. These are the 5 things abusers condition you to accept that healthy people never would. Number 1, accepting blame for their emotions. This is often the first lesson in the abuser's curriculum. It starts small. They have a bad day at work, and when they get home, they're irritable and snap at you. If you get upset, they'll say something like, "Well, I was already stressed, and you just made it worse by getting sensitive. See what happened there?" Their stress, which originated from their job, has now become your fault. You are now the one who has to manage their feelings, to soothe their anger, to fix their bad mood. This escalates over time. Their anger becomes your fault because you provoked them. Their sadness is your fault because you aren't supportive enough. Their jealousy is your fault because you were being too friendly. You become the emotional dumping ground for everything they refuse to process themselves. You learn to silence your own needs, to cater to their emotional state, constantly trying to predict and prevent their next outburst. It's an exhausting, impossible job. Here's the truth. Healthy people understand. You are not responsible for another adult's feelings. You are responsible for your actions, yes, but their emotional reaction is their own. In a healthy partnership, if someone has a bad day, they might say, "I'm in a terrible mood today. I'm sorry if I seem distant." It has nothing to do with you. They take ownership. They don't make their partner the source of the problem and the solution all at once. An abuser hands you their emotional baggage and calls it intimacy. Healthy love teaches you that you are responsible to people, not for them. Number 2, the normalization of zero privacy. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. This is the anthem of the abuser who wants total control. They will frame their invasion of your privacy as a need for honesty and closeness. They'll ask for your phone password, your social media logins, and they'll check your messages. If you hesitate, you're immediately accused of being secretive or cheating. They need to know where you are at all times. They question you about who you were with and what you talked about. Your personal space, both digital and physical, ceases to exist. They isolate you from friends and family by making it so exhausting to interact with anyone else. Every call or text from a friend is followed by an interrogation. Eventually, it just seems easier to not talk to anyone. This isn't about trust. It's about a lack of it. It's about surveillance. They are not trying to get closer to you. They are trying to put a fence around you. In a healthy relationship, privacy is respected as a basic human need. Partners understand that everyone needs space to be an individual. They have their own friends, their own thoughts, and their own private conversations. There is a foundation of trust that means they don't need to check up on each other. They believe what the other person says. They don't need proof. The desire to control every aspect of your life isn't a sign of deep love. It's a sign of deep insecurity. A relationship without trust is just 2 people sharing an address. Number 3, confusing chaos with passion. Abusive relationships are rarely bad all the time. If they were, no one would ever stay. Instead, they operate on an intense, addictive cycle. There will be periods of incredible affection where they shower you with gifts and compliments. This is often called love bombing. Then tension will build. You'll feel that familiar anxiety, that feeling of walking on eggshells. Then comes the explosion, the fight, the yelling, the cruel words. And after that, the reconciliation. They apologize, promise it will never happen again, and the affection returns, often more intensely than before. This roller coaster of extreme highs and extreme lows gets mistaken for passion. The drama feels like excitement. The making up feels like intense love. You start to believe that a stable, calm relationship would be boring. You get conditioned to think that the absence of screaming matches means the absence of love. You start to crave the highs because they are such a relief from the crushing lows. It's a powerful emotional cycle that can feel like an addiction. But healthy people know the truth. Love is not a storm. It's a shelter. Healthy love is consistent, safe, and peaceful. Of course, there will be disagreements and arguments, but they are handled with respect. There isn't a constant cycle of crisis and repair. There isn't a lingering fear of the next explosion. Passion in a healthy relationship comes from genuine connection, shared laughter, and deep respect, not from the relief of surviving another fight. Peace is not the absence of passion. It is the presence of safety. Number 4, the belief that your feelings are invalid. You're overreacting. You're too sensitive. That's not what happened. You're just being dramatic. If you hear these phrases often, you are being conditioned to distrust your own reality. This is a tactic known as gaslighting. The abuser systematically dismantles your perception of reality and your trust in your own feelings. When something they do hurts you and you try to express it, they will twist it. They will deny it happened, or they will tell you that your emotional reaction is wrong and disproportionate. After hearing this enough times, you begin to believe it. You start to think, maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I am overreacting. You stop bringing things up because you've been trained to believe that your feelings are the problem, not their behavior. You start to apologize for having feelings. Your internal compass, your gut instinct that tells you when something is wrong, gets broken. The abuser becomes the authority on your own emotional life. They tell you how you should feel, and you slowly start to believe them. In a healthy relationship, your feelings are treated with respect, even when they're not understood. A loving partner might say, I don't understand why that upset you, but I can see that it did, and I'm sorry you're hurting. They validate your experience. They don't put your emotions on trial. They understand that two people can experience the same event and have different feelings about it, and both sets of feelings are valid. Remember this, your feelings are not a debate, they are a fact. Number 5, living in a state of constant anticipation. This is the silent, exhausting state of walking on eggshells. It's the moment they walk in the door and you immediately scan their face, their body language, trying to gauge their mood. It's rereading a text message 10 times before sending it, trying to phrase it in a way that can't possibly be misinterpreted or cause an argument. You live in a state of high alert, constantly anticipating their next reaction. Your nervous system is perpetually activated. You can't relax. Your home, which should be your sanctuary, feels like a minefield. You carefully manage information, hiding things that might set them off, like a friendly chat with a coworker or a small purchase you made for yourself. This constant state of stress is not normal. It is not your job to be a mood detective or a crisis manager. This hypervigilance is a trauma response. You have been conditioned to believe that you are responsible for keeping the peace, and that peace is so fragile, it can be shattered by the slightest mistake. Healthy relationships are a place of rest. They are your safe space to land after a hard day. You don't have to perform or pretend. You can be your authentic self without fear of punishment. You can be tired. You can be silly. You can be sad. You can make a mistake. And you know that you will still be met with love and acceptance. Love should feel like a safe harbor, not a battlefield you have to navigate every day. Recognizing these patterns is the first, most powerful step toward freedom. It's not about blame. It's about clarity. It's about understanding that what you went through was not your fault, and it was not normal. You were taught a distorted version of love, but you can unlearn it. You can learn what healthy love feels like. It feels like peace, respect, freedom, and safety. You deserve to have a life where you are not constantly auditioning for love and approval. You deserve to be loved for who you are, not for how well you can manage someone else's chaos. If this video helped you see things more clearly, or if you feel it could help someone else, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Sharing this information can make a world of difference. And for the comments, I have a question for you. It's not about sharing difficult stories, but about looking forward. What is one thing you now know you deserve in a relationship that you didn't before? Let's fill the comments with signs of what real love and respect look like to help and inspire each other. Thank you for watching.